You guys, we have got to talk about the escape the night situation because the story is not over yet. We've seen Tana talk about it. We've seen Trisha talk about it, Joey and Rosanna has some more things to say, and we're going to get into everything that is being said about this whole mess. In case you guys have not been along for the ride, there's been a lot that's been said about Escape the Night. Tana originally made a podcast where she was talking about the terrible time that she had on the set of Escape the Night, calling out the crew. She called out this one guy for harassing her when they were alone for a moment while filming.
There's hired actors, right? And all of these hired actors are wearing masks. And then they're like, okay, your next scene is that you're going to be chained to the ceiling. What do you mean I'm being chained to the ceiling in a meat freezer in a gown right now at 9 a.m. downtown and this YouTuber just smoked their dead parent? What do you mean? And so then the camera guy walks away and now I'm just in this freezer chained to the ceiling with a man in a horror mask, right? And he starts talking to me and he's like, hey, I'm JJ. It was huge down there as well. So like the nearest people were like 25, 30 feet away, whatever, right? And this man looks at me, I swear to through the mask, I don't know what he looks like. And he looks at me and he says, this is my dream having you chained up.
No.
This is my dream having you chained up.
So I would scream
and
out
then
loud.
he goes,
She also made mentions of Rosanna having smoked cannabis grown from her father's ashes. She didn't name Rosanna, but everyone knew who she was talking about, given that, I mean, who else is really doing that? People also called out Joey as they didn't love how he handled Tana talking about Escape the Night when he went on Just Trish and kind of gave his reaction to it all. And Tana later went on Just Trish to talk more about the experience, and then on her own podcast, she called out Joey for his response to her. Rosanna then chimed in and called out Tana, saying that she lied about how all of the crew was creepy and was also really hurt, feeling like Tana and her friends had made fun of her for the smoking situation, and was also hurt by Trisha laughing with Tana. She said that she believed what Tana said about the harassment, but everything else she was basically clocking as a lie or exaggeration. Trisha then came out to call out Rosanna, totally disgusted by what she had to say in her video about Tana, and felt like she was dismissing everything Tana was saying.
Like, it's like, who are you defending and why are you defending? It felt very like almost like possessed. Like, it felt very weird because I was like, is this for views? Is it for... Their biggest critique was, why are Joey and Tana talking about this on a podcast back and forth? Why are you inserting yourself on a podcast when you weren't even involved, totally assassinating this person's character, when all you do is try to defend victims of Mr. Beast? How can you be a voice for victims, but then when it's Tana, just completely, I mean, it's long. The clips I saw were long. I don't know how long the podcast was. Just constant berating, mocking, laughing, saying something didn't happen when you're not there.
Rosanna has since responded as she's gotten a ton of backlash after making that video calling out Tana. She wanted to make it clear right from the beginning of this video that she believes Tana when she says that she was harassed on set, and she wanted to make sure people knew that's what she was also saying in her last video, and that despite Tana, in her opinion, mocking her, she was still believing Tana and doesn't believe that that man's behavior on set was right.
I think it's important to start with this. I believe Tana when she said that a guy said something inappropriate to her on set, like he harassed her on the set of Escape the Night. When she told me on set, I fully had her back and I said, I'm so sorry that happened to you and you should tell Joey. What he said to Tana was wrong, and him waiting until she was alone to say it is very telling that he knew that what he was doing was wrong. I'm proud of Tana for speaking up. She told me, she told Joey later that day on set, like, no one deserves to be treated like that, especially on set. Everyone deserves to feel safe in a working environment. I fully support her for calling out his disgusting behavior. On my previous podcast, I said that I continue to choose to support her, even though she's mocked me.
Rosanna goes on to apologize for how her last video came across to people, as she didn't mean for it to seem like she was not believing Tana in her serious claim.
I'm sorry that if my criticism about other things that Tana said overshadowed that fact. Like, I should have done a better job of being clear of keeping those two things apart. Like, me criticizing and fact-checking the other things that she was saying on the podcast was in no way intended to claim that she was lying about being harassed.
She went on to explain why she made the video originally.
The reason that I spoke out about this is because I felt Tana was associating many innocent people with the very harmful actions of one individual. Her claims that the entire crew were like old, creepy men is just harmful because the crew was a mix of men and women whose livelihoods depend on their reputation. And Tana is in a position of privilege. And to use that privilege to spread lies about hardworking people just to make her podcast more interesting comes off as very problematic to me.
Rosanna went on to give another example, saying that Tana was also calling out the wardrobe team, saying that she was dressed like a sleut and she's just always dressed this same slutty way. And it felt like she was saying that she was being sexualized and didn't like that. But Rosanna was trying to say that they provided multiple outfit choices. Joey let them wear whatever they wanted. They could even bring their own clothes.
And she got to choose which one was her favorite. So by slandering and saying they forced her to wear this, well, they don't have a big platform to speak up for themselves. When this movie comes out and the credits roll, their names are public and people are going to associate them with doing things that they didn't do. And that's not fair to them. That's Tana making up stories that could negatively impact their livelihood. Like, it's risking the potential of those people not getting hired in the future. And that is not okay. Some people listening didn't understand why I was so passionate about this. And it's because I know some of the crew personally, and they don't deserve to be lumped in like that. Words matter, and they have an effect on people.
Rosanna was saying that she felt like two things could be true at the same time, in that she could believe Tana and say that what happened to her was wrong, but at the same time call out things she felt Tana said about the Escape the Night crew that she says were lies. She then wanted to address Tana having brought up the fact that she smoked cannabis grown from her father's ashes and said that she felt like she had been mocked for this on Canceled, and when Tana went on Trisha's podcast, she said it just really triggered her what was said.
Canceled podcast, Tana talks so negatively about how I honored my dad that it triggered me. I still deeply feel the loss of my dad, and for her and Brooke and Paige to put it out there that it was illegal, insinuating that I'm a criminal and that I was a cannibal, completely devastated me. Like, I thought Tana and I were friends. We've known each other for so many years. We've worked on projects together. I messaged her. I have looked to her for advice. Like, I literally invited her to my nephew's birthday. Like, I have just never been through something like that. And I don't think that I have ever felt this upset. Like, I snapped. I'm going to pause right here and just play some of the clips of her mocking me, calling me a cannibal, and reducing me to nothing more than a YouTuber who smoked her dead dad.
She felt that the comments crossed a line and just felt like they were being so mean.
That's my dad. When you're vulnerable and you open up and you share intimate details about your life with the public, like, you expect random people to be judgmental, but not your friends. It may not be something that they would do, but I wouldn't expect them to be mean or mock me. They were laughing at me and calling me a cannibal. A cannibal? I honestly don't understand why Tana didn't just talk to me like if I was annoying her instead of blasting it on the internet on multiple podcasts. She didn't just go on one podcast. She went on multiple podcasts and mocked me over and over and over again for views.
She even added that there were other creators who clocked this originally when Tana posted her original podcast talking about Escape the Night experience, noting that other people also thought that Rosanna didn't deserve that.
I don't think Rosanna deserves the slander, okay? She was just trying to make some conversation.
Like, it's 9:30 in the morning and I'm downtown and this YouTuber is telling me about how they smoked their dead parent.
Is that against the law?
That's like cannibalism.
I don't know, June.
Stop.
Okay. And I'm just
okay. All of you, stop it.
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
not
leave
a thing.
Rosanna Pansino alone. It was a touching, like, it was a sweet gesture that she was.
Cannibalism.
She said she had also reached out to Trisha privately after seeing Trisha's recent podcast, calling her out. And Rosanna said she was under the impression that she agreed with Tana and that they were sitting together and laughing and making fun of her together. That was her impression when she saw Tana on Just Trish. And she did say that she reached out to Trisha privately and they talked things over in text, but she did want to say that what was said about her in terms of being friends with Colleen Ballinger, she wanted to clear that up.
Hurts me to see Trish upset. I hate that. Like, in her response when she started talking about Colleen, she knows that I did not know about Colleen's behavior in any way or participate. The she was doing pissed me off. Colleen hid that from me because I am the friend who would say something and say that that's up. Colleen lied to me by keeping her true character very private.
She apologized for calling out Trisha for the whole downtown LA thing, as well as she did not know about Trisha's past experiences, and she just hopes the two of them can work things out. The whole situation has just been such a mess with just so much being said from multiple people. Hopefully after this, everyone can just move on from what has been said, and I guess we'll just have to see, but That's what Rosanna had to say about the backlash that she received following her recent video calling out Tana and then seeing Trisha call her out. I want to know what you guys think about what Rosanna had to say in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.